Ta-da! Hi! Hello everybody, this is video 0001 and this is going to talk a little bit about circles. And if you're wondering, I have a little kitty cat who's messing with me over here. But anyway, let's talk about circles. Depending on where you're at, I'm currently taking the OBOD course, and I've been taking the Druid course for a good 4 years now. And not out of laziness, just as it approaches and as things happen, they're significant. You just do it at your own pace. So anyway, I've restarted it a number of times, and this is the farthest that I've gotten in it, and round up to about, I think, Guernsey about 32, 33. But one thing that I noticed was circles, and there's a lot of stuff in both Druidry and Wicca that deals with circles. I mean, circles are the wheel of the year is a circle, and we split that into 8 segments. The quarters of the year is in circle, 4 segments. Directions are in 4 segments. If you get into tarot deck, you have 4 suits, and you talk a little bit about trying to deal with time and the passage of time during the year in a circle, and associating it to a person's life when they're young, when they're old, and as well as trying to tie it somewhat to a clock, which is also a circle. I mean, wheels, circles. And one of the problems that I've had is I wanted to try and come up with some sort of guideline for the tarot, thinking that somewhat of the tarot, the journey through the course of the Wheel of the Year. And so to do that, to do the minor arcana, I had to divide the circle into 40 segments, which was kind of easy. But then to try to assign a day, and okay, this day, I'm going to think about this, and we're going to reflect about that. Well, when you try to assign the Wheel of the Year with the holidays and whatnot, sometimes there's 7 weeks between it, sometimes there's 8 weeks, because unfortunately a year is not 360 days long. It's 365 days and 6 hours long, and that can be a bit of mental gymnastics. And the reason why, and I've assigned my highly scientific graphic department to draw this, that the Earth goes around the sun in an ellipse, right? It's not a circle, and so that's why a year, while it's 12 months, it's actually 365 days and 6 hours. And so there you have an ellipse for actually how long it takes for the Earth to go around the sun. And yet here we are trying to do everything with circles. And we assign the holidays to dates, roughly around the circle. And I don't know. It's one of those things, and it looks like on the screen everything's backwards. Isn't that cool? So you'll have to use your imagination. That it's not. No. Again, we here we have an ellipse that's, a period of time that's 365 days and a couple hours, 6 hours. And we're trying to relate that to a circle, which is 360 degrees. Okay, degrees. And some people believe in radians. Other things, but we're trying to keep it really simple. I'm a very simple person. I have to keep it simple-minded, so I'm going to stick to degrees, and I'm going to try and default down to hours and minutes and weeks. And it's just one of those things. Samhain is November 1st, and then the next holiday, is 12/20 to 12/23, depending on how you look at it. And so, I think there's a bit of a, we just have to kind of be open to the fact that there's going to be different interpretations. You know, yes, you can divide the circle any way you like, but you can, straight up is going to be, Yule. It's going to be start of the year, and then, you know, the quarters are easy, right? 0, 90, 180, and 270. And then the cross quarters again are also easy because they're 45-degree increments. But then to try and map something that's 365 and a quarter to that 360, you're going to have decimal days, and it's very hard to have a decimal day. We don't live our lives in decimal days. We live our lives in full days. And so, what do you do? Do you resolve to have 53 weeks in the year, knowing that it's only 52 and a fraction? Do so as you sit down with a calendar, some of the things that I encountered was, okay, well, when do I start my week? Do I start my week? If I was going to map out the year by weeks, do I start it on, the first day of the solstice? Do I start it on the first day of the calendar year, the Julian calendar year, January 1st? Do I start it on a Monday? Do I start it on a Sunday? I mean, they're just things I think that's where each of us are going to have our own personal preferences. And what I'm driving at, again, back to the idea of the tarot, is to, say, as we're approaching this time of year, we might be thinking about this, that, or the other. And that kind of comes into play when you're dealing with the elements. For example, right now we're in the element of water. If you're doing your bardic studies, we're in the element of water, which in tarot is cups. And, again, people are dealing with their heart right now, and those kinds of things. And so, again, it's just fascinating to me, the concept of time and how it passes. And so I hope that as I might post something on the site, or something about, the Three of Cups, or the Four of Cups, or the Prince of Cups, at that time, I hope that I'm giving myself a large degree of a fudge factor. And that's why I always say, when someone asks me about time, I talk about plus or minus a pint of Guinness. And hopefully you'll cut me a little bit of slack, and have a Guinness or a beverage of your choice, and just say, yeah, it's around about that time. We can all kind of agree, fall is fall, and winter is winter, and spring's spring. But nature doesn't exactly fall on that calendar, date, just because it happens to be, you know, the 1st of May, or I'll even say, let's go with something even bigger. Let's go with the solstice or something. And, yes, you can calculate to the exact degree at what point, the sun's rays are at a certain point. But I like to think that there's a sort of period of time where, you don't have to celebrate a holiday at that. You can, if we, if I didn't have a job, I'd love it. But that's just not the way that it's not the way my life works, and I may have to wait a day or two to celebrate a holiday, or to have a ritual, or something like that, just because I can't do it at that specific time. And I like to think that the spirits and the gods that maybe I'm honoring or saying thank you to are like, what, Robin didn't do it at the exact moment, but Robin's heart's in the right place, and we're thankful for Robin. So your mileage may vary. There's no right or wrong answer here, I don't think. I wish you the best of luck, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about circles, and kind of how I'm approaching this. And there's definitely a degree of fudge here. And anyway, so best of luck to you. Good wishes to you. Peace and blessings, as we say. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye. Oops, and I'm using the wrong mouse. Aha, now I'm using the right mouse.